Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to VK Punk Wrestling, your soon to be recognized, undisputed top tier source for all things wrestling and sports entertainment related. I am your host, Vince Punk, and if you're ready to rumble with us, give that video a thumbs up and slam that subscribe button with a stone cold stunner. Then flip the double birds to the bell icon so you never miss a single dropkick of action when our videos go live. Let's make some noise, because VK Punk, we the ones for wrestling entertainment. Okay, today we're diving into last night's Friday Night SmackDown live from Bologna, Italy, with our signature YAYY BOOO review style. But first, a quick shout out to our reigning champ, AK Havoc. Brother, you better clutch that title because WrestleMania is just a month away, and I've got my sights locked on that gold. Let's be real, it should have already been mine. So I'll settle for snatching it from you in front of the whole world at WrestleMania in our predictions warfare. Watch your back, champ. Before we break into the action, though, let me give one more quick shout out to our incredible sponsor, Capgo Championship Belt. These folks craft the most jaw-dropping title replicas, wrestling, UFC, you name it. Never seen your dream belt? Hit up Abdul. He's a wizard at creating originals like the custom stunner we've commissioned for our channel. It's not just belts. Capco's got shirts, vests, jackets, gloves, masks. I've snagged plenty of their gear, as you've seen in the past video, and it's top notch. Go check them out at www.capcointernational.com. Their Facebook and email are in the credits. Tell them Vin sent you. All right, now let's step into the ring. Right, for our main event, let's do the YAYY BOOO review of SmackDown. SmackDown kicked off with Joe Tessitore welcome everybody, every one of us, to Bologna, Italy, where the crowd was louder than a steel chair shot to the skull. He ran down the night's card as superstars strutted into the Unipol Arena. First up, Randy Orton's music hit, and the Italian fan sang so loud you could barely hear the track. Talk about a pop, man. This was good. Joe and Wade recapped last week's drama with Carmelo Hayes. Then Orton got into the ring and hit his signature corner pose, soaking in the roar of the crowd. This went on a bit long, though. Randy, we get it. You're the Viper. Don't overdo it, though. They have been doing a lot of that at the European shows, though. It seems like they've pushed more entrances into the commercials for the less important people. So that way they can keep these entrances long. But back to business, Orton grabbed the mic, but before he could spit any venom, Kevin Owens' music interrupted. KL marched with something to say. He actually apologized for attacking Randy Orton, admitting that Randy didn't deserve it, unlike Sammy and Cody. He blamed his temper, said that he regretted it, and wanted to bury the hatchet. Then, in a twist, he pitched teaming up with Orton to chase the tag team titles at WrestleMania. Randy's response to him, though, is, nah, I should just beat your ass. He told KO to shove that apology where the sun don't shine, dubbed him Bitch Owens Bitch, and brought up the pile driver that sidelined him, vowing to punt kick KO's head way into the back row. Segment over. This feud is on fire. Let's go ahead and give this one a yay. Woo! For one, Randy Orton's always gold. I know I kind of made fun of him in that, but Randy Orton's great. And KO's a heat magnet at the moment. Their chemistry is so real, you'd think they'd fight in the parking lot after hours. This match got made official later in the night, and it's going to be a banger. I'm already counting the RKOs. It's going to be amazing. Okay, so next, Joe and Wade tossed to a video package of Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest from last week. Priest's entrance followed rocking the vest that Capgo made a replica of for us. Yeah. They cut to break mid-entrance, and when we returned, Shinsuke Nakamura was already just getting finished with his, and Jimmy Uso was already in the ring. Like I said about the entrances just a minute ago. Drew got the full entrance, though, but in a sense, he got his entrance from the beginning to the point where Priest ran down the aisle and met Drew on the ramp, and they brawled like it was a bar fight. There's still no bell yet, and Jimmy Uso soared over the top with a tope con hilo that'd make his brother Jay jealous. especially after Jay's botch this week. Jimmy got the upper hand on Drew early, but McIntyre yeeted him across the ring, ripped off his kilt, and took control, taunting Damian Priest. Shinsuke, not even legal, dragged Jimmy outside and laid him on the announce table as we were hit with another ad. Back from the break, Jimmy dropped Drew with a Samoan drop, tagging Nakamura in. We had a double down, and Priest gets the hot tag. Damian cleaned house after this, including a tightrope spot on Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura flipped the script briefly, but Priest hit a lariat and chaos erupted. Drew jumped in the match. The match broke down, and Priest pinned Nakamura with a South of Heaven. Post bell, Drew ambushed Priest, slamming his head into the mat repeatedly. No backup for Damian here, though. Nobody came out to save him, nothing. After it was all done, Drew hit that Claymore, and that was it. He sealed the deal, leaving Priest down as Drew sold the on-site beef hard. So as much as the action was good here, I have to go boo for the segment as a whole. You got like too many top card guys and Jimmy Uso shoved into a multi-man mess that didn't mean anything. It was just a vehicle for Drew at versus Damian at Mania. The action was solid, but the story was non-existent. Nice fight, weak plot. Next time, book it with purpose. So we cut backstage after that, and Braun Strowman and LA Knight chatted about Braun's match with Jacob Fatu, now a number one contenders belt for the U.S. title that LA Knight holds. Joe and Wade then recapped last week's Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton clash, really highlighting and, I mean, showing again Tiffy's missed swantons. Post break, Tessitore sent us to a remote interview between Charlotte and Tiffany. And Charlotte was asked Tiffany was asked a question, but Charlotte cut Tiffany off, answering with "The Queen speaks first," really pitying Tiffany and calling her not that special. Tiffany fired back, right? Saying that she idolized Charlotte in the beginning of her career, but now she wants her throne. It devolved into a shout fest. Each woman really shouting over one another. It was kind of a lot to handle. Charlotte leaning on her tired old lines about "you're not that special" and everyone is compared to her. It's just the same thing that we've heard her say to every single other person that she has ever wrestled. Also admitting that she's old. Telling Tiffany, "You better hope you have a job when you're my age, or you'll be lucky if you have a job when you're my age." Nice way of telling everybody that you're old, Charlotte. Anyway, Tiff tried to shine, but this was kind of a snooze fest. Boo again for this. This was a yelling match with no real substance. I guess, I get that we're trying to promote the WrestleMania match, but I just don't feel like this did it. It was just a bunch of noise. This Charlotte's recycling promos from 2015, and Tiffany deserves better than being drowned out like this. Less spotlight on the Queen and more on the Rising Stars, please, because this whole Charlotte thing is way old and just not good. We go into the arena after that, and Jacob Fatu has entered for his U.S. title contender match with Braun Strowman. Braun, of course, followed. Wade doing his one big SOB bit, but I'm sorry, Wade. Pat McAfee did it way better. During Braun's entrance, we get a picture-in-picture recap of last week's beef. Before the bell sounds, Braun crotch chopped Fatu, which was kind of funny. And as the match got on, they circled like bulls. Braun attacking first, fast, and into the corner. Fatu flipped it around pretty quick, though. You get some back and forth. Then Braun tosses Fatu outside the ring, but just went out there and dragged him back in. I don't understand what this is for. Make up your mind, big dude. Braun dominated a little bit after this. Played to the crowd. He did all this. It was real silly seeing him win. And then he finally got out of the ring and went choo-choo. But Fatu sidestepped it, sending Strowman sprawling into the announce table as ads hit. we got back and Fatu got a little hot run. He's actually Samoan dropped the big monster. Hip attacks galore, but Braun hulks up, landed a diving lariat that looked pretty brutal, even though it looked sloppy as well. And he kind of took over again. Went back outside for another choo choo, and he connected this time. He gets back in the ring, but Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa interfere. The match getting thrown away. DQ win for Braun. After the bell, the new Bloodline beatdown, followed as it always does. LA Knight's music hits, man, and he charged in, and he and Braun kind of clear the ring of the new Bloodline, hyping next week's title clash, and you see both of them in the ring. I guess trying to promote that. It was a pretty good spot. Something that I don't think anybody was expecting. So, but anyway, I am gonna say yay for this meat slapping masterpiece. These two titans going at it was pure intensity. Everything it needed to be. The bloodline meddling was kind of a buzzkill, but it protected Fatu's rise while giving Braun a win, which is always good. If you want to look into some fantasy booking for this storyline, let's just say next week when they act, where are they at? London? Yeah, they're in London next week. Braun wins the belt off of Knight. It sets up a Mania Monster Mash with Fatu to actually come to a match between these two that comes to some kind of finish in the end. I mean, it's just fantasy booking, but it sounds good. Book it, you cowards. Kathy Kelly has caught Liv Morgan and Raquel backstage after this. Liv says that this whole thing is personal. Everyone blamed them for Jay's attack, and she's finishing the job tonight. In the ring, Piper Niven entered with Alba Fire and Chelsea Green for her match with Zelina Vega. Vying to face Women's U.S. champ Chelsea Green. Okay, that's why Vega is fighting Piper Niven tonight. We get a break, and then before we get back to the match, there's a backstage segment. Fatu is yelling at Solo for interfering. Says he doesn't need him, and it wasn't his business, and he should mind his own business. And when we go back live to the ring, Vega's making her entrance, maybe debuting some new music. I don't know that I've ever really heard it or paid attention. The crowd, for being a loud crowd, really gave zip here for Vega. When they both got into the ring, the size difference between these two competitors was glaring. Vega went for an early code red, but Piper shrugged her off with shoulder tackles. Zelina climbed Piper for a headlock and mounted for 10 punches in the corner, but Niven turned it with a double-handed choke slam. We go back into another break, and Piper seems to have dominated through the break, locked in a $1 million dream on Vega, and then kind of got out of that, and she gave Vega this gnarly looking headbutt, sending Vega straight down to the mat. Zelina fought back for near falls. She took out Chelsea and Alba on the outside as well, but Piper crushed her with a flying crossbody for the win. This here is hard to say. It's like a yay, but also a boo. Some decent action here, but I don't really understand where this goes. What's the point of all of this? It kind of nudged Chelsea's story along, but Zelina's push stalled. I mean, where is she going? Her whole thing was, I'm gonna beat Piper so I can make it to the United States title match with Chelsea Green, but she's not getting that at all because she lost against Piper. So I don't understand why we started to push her and just to make her lose here. And also, what's this do for Piper? Piper hasn't won a match in forever. She's been losing, and now all of a sudden she has a win. I mean, she's not being pushed, and this halted Vega. I mean, this is all very meh. It didn't really do anything that I saw. Vega winning to go on to face Chelsea was the story, right? Well, it didn't happen that way. So boo for that, but yay, and always Chelsea Green is great. Whether it's backstage or ringside, she has been doing really good lately. And keep doing your stuff. It's getting you places. Okay, so after that, we get a recap of Raw. John Cena's breaking up promo where he broke up with the entire WWE universe. You know, even that one kid. And Cody to Hype Mania, I guess. Randy Orton and KO. This is where they get confirmed for Mania. Backstage, Jade warmed up as Kathy Kelly asked about tonight. Jade trash Liv, warm Naomi, she's next, and we got that creepy smoking 4 vignette again. Obviously, I still think it's for Aleister Malachi Black, but it seems a little more involved. I don't understand what the 4 is, but I guess we'll wait and find out. Liv entered for the match and Jade followed. And the match kicked off with Jade's boot to Liv's face, really quick. The action spilled to the ass outside, and Jade stared down Raquel, who backed off. Liv couldn't gain any traction, really. She kept getting overpowered by Jade every move. Liv and Raquel tried to bail, but Jade dragged Liv back to the ring. Liv hit a backstabber after a Raquel distraction, taking control through the break. Post ads, Liv went for Oblivion. Jade reversed it into a German suplex. Ran hot with a spine buster and racked up some near falls. Then all of a sudden, Naomi appears, distracting Jade with the title, letting Liv hit the Oblivion for the pin. Post match, Naomi pummeled Jade, drawing major heat from Italy. No help ever came for Jade, though. Jade just left to fend for herself, I guess. She has not got any help. I don't know where Bianca was. I think she's on Monday nights, but maybe Bianca should have came out and helped her. So once again, this, just like the last one, we get some yays, but also some boos. Not terrible, not great. Jade looks strong, which I guess you really have to make her do. And Liv shine as always, so I'm sure it's easy to make Jade look strong because Liv is putting on the matches of her career right now. But Naomi's heel turn is, I mean, it's just like a whole bunch of yikes, dude. She wasn't clicking in the ring, and she's ditching the whole glow thing, which was probably the only thing that gave her any kind of following to begin with. She was her babyface run was her only fuel, and now that she's like going to this heel character, I feel like it's gonna really pull those positive and young kids away from her, just like it's gonna happen with Cena turning, and with both of these competitors not really being top performers inside the ring. Jade versus Naomi already sounds sloppy. I hope these ladies prove me wrong, though, because I would love to see some amazingness out of this. We cut to backstage where Kathy nabbed Drew McIntyre. He blamed Priest for years of screw jobs, called him tough but dumb, and promised a reckoning in London next week. On his way out, he also bumped into Seth Rollins. I wonder if that happens to be foreshadowing anything. We cut back into the arena, and the Street Profits are entering as the new tag champs. Montez kind of clowning as usual. The crowd's chanting, "You deserve it." They both get on the mic, and Dawkins got real. He said, "It's been 4 long, rough years since we've been the champion. There's been a lot of self-doubt. But the titles now make it all worth it." Legado del Fantasma interrupt. Santos actually speaking some Italian to the Italy crowd and hyping Los Garza for a shot at the titles. Pretty Deadly kind of cut in after that, claiming their #1 contender status from last week's win. Montez challenged Los Garza for tonight. We see a ref ran out and the match is on post-break. But not before we get a Rey Fenix vignette we definitely know it's Rey Fenix now. We got more of the mask, more of it was just a longer promo or a longer vignette than the one we got last week. The last week, they showed him running the ropes, his feet, but they never showed his mask. So anyway, Rey Fenix is definitely coming to WWE. Okay, as we get back to the ring, the Profits face Los Garza. We get some early back and forth. Garza cornered Montez. The Garzas, they cornered Montez with quick tags and pretty sufficient beatdowns. Montez finally does tag Dawkins, but Santos low bridged him outside. And then we go into a break there. Outside a break, the Garzans stayed on Dawkins, shining pretty brightly. They hit the Garza special, which I thought was a pretty amazing move. I've been watching wrestling for a while. I've never heard it mentioned, like specifically the Garza special, but it was a pretty sick looking move. But Montez had to break up the pin from it, and Dawkins fought back, and they kind of went into a double down where they're both looking for tags. Of course, Ford gets a hot tag and ran wild. Spinebuster's near fall. It climbed up to the top where the Garzas followed, but Montez flipped out. Dawkins leveled the Garzas, and Ford got a superplex for another near fall after that. Dawkins tagged in, and Santos distracted, but Dawkins clocked him, and Ford had a blind tag right into a frog splash for the win. This was a lot of fun. This one gets a yay. This was non-stop action. The Profits retained as they should, and Los Garza looked legit. You need to give them more because they really are a good team. Pretty Deadly's next, and I'm torn. They deserve gold, but this new brutal Street Profits is also a lot of fun. But I really like Pretty Deadly. I really wish that they would get their title run. But I'll enjoy the story either way. It's going to be fun to see. Hopefully, Pretty Deadly do well. Backstage, a van rolls up. I guess they don't have limos in Italy. They just put you in a van. Paul Heyman actually steps out, and then we get thrown into a break. Post advertisements, Pretty Deadly and DIY traded words in like a stairwell. DIY pitched a deal for next week. PD shut it down pretty quickly, and then the Motor City Machine Guns came in, and they vowed that they were gonna go after DIY because they're both sitting at the bottom of the card. I guess that's pretty funny. Motor City Machine Guns and DIY at the bottom of the card. We cut to Joe and Wade, who hype up next week's London card. Then Roman Reigns' music hits, and there's a huge pop. You can see the fans squish into the barricade against the ramp to all try to get close to the OTC. Roman and Paul hit the ring, and there's ones up everywhere. Roman demanded that Italy acknowledge him, and this has turned into like quite the sweet thing that the whole universe does for him now. It's not him like saying acknowledge me when nobody wants to. Now everybody wants to. It's a lot of fun, and he demanded that Italy did it. Then said Punk screwed him at the Rumble, so he returned the favor. And Seth tried to kill him at Elimination Chamber, so he retaliated at Madison Square Garden. He dared anyone to step up, and of course, Seth's music hits. The crowd sang loud, and Rollins strutted out in gear as loud as ever. Seth let the song play and let the Italians sing a song for a little while. Went on just a little too long. Then said Roman botched by not letting him finish off Punk, claiming their own rivalry has been eternal and it's always been about them. Paul glared as CM Punk's music blasted, and Bologna sang along to Cult of Personality while Punk yelled it's clobbering time, and then he's another one that Italy crowd gave a huge pop to. He gets on the apron, kind of stays outside the ropes for a little while. Then he like kind of climbs the ropes, but doesn't really get in the ring. Gets on the mic and he says that neither Seth nor Roman have really ever beaten him without the help of one another. He cites saving Roman's family at War Games. And then, of course, he keeps reminding us that Paul Heyman owes him a favor, which is what I called on my preview show yesterday, that this is where the favor would come into play, and it looks like it has. Roman looks away for a minute, and Punk jumps off the turnbuckle and attacks him. And Seth guts into Punk. It turns into chaos. There's blow traded. No one down until security swarmed. No one can really seem to get the upper hand. It's just them taking turns, beating each other. Punk screams he's the best, and then I think on the announce table he's the best. He's gonna prove to them, and he points at the WrestleMania sign. But Seth hits a suicide dive to take him out, and then he points to the WrestleMania sign as well. And then finally, security's got them all, but Roman gets the steel stairs, and then he smashes Punk in the face, and then he's pointing at the WrestleMania sign as the brawl kind of was still going as the show faded off air. It was really good, guys. Yay for this. The mic work was sharp. The violence was rabid. All three pointing at the Mania sign. Perfect. This triple threat's locked, and it's definitely going to happen at Mania, and this is pure gold. There's really not much more to say. They handled it great. They told the story great. All the psychology is there. It's really good. Right? So that's the whole show, a SmackDown from Bologna, Italy. A full-on yay for the show as a whole. Right? Hot crowd, except for Zelina Vega for some reason. Killer moments. A few duds, but mostly fire. Yes, boy. That's a wrap, folks. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel and punch that bell so you're ready for every drop. I'm Vince C. Punk. This is BK Punk Wrestling, and we the ones for wrestling content. See you guys next time.